This video is about Israel and the attack they got from Hamas. Now, in my opinion, Israel's got a very strong army, very qualified and a lot of good equipment. And their intelligence is the best there is. And you tell me they didn't know they was going to get invaded? I don't believe that. And I'm basing my opinion not believing that. I think the Prime Minister of Israel knew what he was doing. He sacrificed his own people to justify what he's going to do in Gaza today. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right, this whole thing could change. Because if I'm right, the Prime Minister and everybody involved should have been run out of office for incompetence. And the whole thing would change. But if I'm wrong, there's a lot of things they could do different to save all this human suffering and destruction of the facilities in Gaza. My suggestion, if I were in power, this is the way I'd look at it. They could, with the military Israel has, they could sanction off certain sections of Gaza, brought the Palestinians into Israel for refugees, and took care of them without all the expense and all this disruption and all this human suffering. And by then, when they went into that area, they wouldn't have to have Palestinians for a shield. In my opinion, in a situation like this, the rats wouldn't have no place to go, and they'd either run or get killed. And just do that section at a time. It would have prevented all this terrible, inhumane things that one little man is responsible for. There's doctors and nurses all over the world going over there and patch up what this one little man has caused. It should have never happened. There's no big rush. They took it very slowly. The Palestinians, it would have been very uncomfortable for them, but at least they'd had a place to go back and live when it's all over with. I'm standing my ground. I wouldn't give Israel, I'm a U.S. citizen, and I wouldn't give Israel one penny for what they're doing in Gaza right now. And I'm not alone. A lot of people in Israel, they're not quite satisfied with what their prime minister is doing and has done. They wasn't very happy when he changed the Constitution, but there wasn't enough of them to win the case. And I think I'm not sure, unless they discharged him. He's got criminal charges against him, and he'll never get prosecuted because he's in power. So I'm not a very good defender of the Prime Minister of Israel. This all could have been prevented if they'd have handled it in a civilized way. And a lot of the military people said there has been no long-term plan of what Israel was going to do and what the end results is and who's going to end up with the land and replacing the Palestinians and all that. No long-term plan. This one man don't care. Invade, destroy, and torture, just like Putin does in Ukraine. I'm sick of it. I think my president is too weak. Too weak to do what's right. Put his foot on the ground and say, we're not going to support you in this crazy-ass war. It's Israel's problem. The Palestinians need to be protected because they say, well, we're going to bomb. We're going to bomb Gaza. Now, if you want to stay and get killed, that's okay. But we're giving you the opportunity to leave, but there's no place to go. How cruel is that? No water. Makes me shake my head. All the suffering they've caused, it is because one little man, the Prime Minister of Israel, he has proven to me he's a psychopath. He gets great pleasure, enjoyment out of torturing and destroying the people in the Palestine in Gaza. Now, the enemy, it's all right to destroy him, but he don't have to take the weak with him. He's responsible for their lives and all the bad things they've done. And the rest of the world is sending doctors and nurses over there, taking their time to patch up what you could have prevented. I'm telling the United States and my representatives, do not give Israel one dime. to support the man in power right now. And I would like to debate it with anybody I can, but I probably won't get no news media because it seems like my country's pro-Israel no matter what. We only got a few representatives that are not pro-Israel. I'm going to just mention one right now, just to stir the pot. DeSantis. He got elected governor. And why did he go to Israel to celebrate his election? I'd like to know. I'd like to know who paid for it and why he chose Israel. We got a lot of country and a lot of places in the United States. Maybe the Republican Party could have used that for good publicity. But why did he go to Israel? I'd like to know. And then why did he come back and pass an anti-Semitic law? And I'm not sure what them laws are and what they mean. I don't understand them, but the best I understand them, they're against freedom of speech and actually against freedom of thought or your opinion. I don't understand, but I see a lot of places anti-Semitic is oh man, that's bad. But I'd like for somebody to prove to me why it's so bad.